Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the very first time you've discovered me, yay, you're finally here. I've been waiting for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thanks for coming back. Keep those comments coming down below. Yeah, as you know, if you're a subscriber, I reply to everything, and I always love to hear what you have to say. So my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content, so you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money watching a particular film. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called It Ends With Us. This dramatic romance opened in theaters on August 9th, 2024. The film is rated PG-13 and it's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. My overall movie review mom grade is kind of a bit of a meh B. First, I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out all the reasons why I liked it and all the reasons why I probably didn't give it a higher score, as well as tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might like. All right, so in a nutshell, the story is adapted from the very popular New York Times bestseller, Colleen Hoover's novel. It's about Lily, a woman who overcomes a traumatic childhood to embark on a new life. A chance meeting with a neurosurgeon sparks a connection, but Lily begins to see sides of him that remind her of her parents' relationship. Bum, bum, bum. The film was directed by Justin Baldoni, who also stars in it. That's amazing. Writing credits go to Colleen Hoover, of course, and Christy Hall. For what it's worth, I have not read the book, so I can't tell you how close or far it is from the source material, but I've heard that it's a very good book to movie adaptation for those who really did love the book. If you've read it, comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts and your comparisons. They always say the book is better, except for Lord of the Rings. I actually thought that was way better. Anyway, let me give you some quick tips for parents. Kids I think, are going to be completely bored. It's adults talking, no action or anything that they'll be able to relate to. There is alcohol consumed in quite a few scenes. There are premarital relations that are also seen. Talk of a child and a father who have died. We see some passionate moments with skin, but it doesn't go into rated R territory. I was surprised to see 10 people listed as stuntmen and stunt women. This definitely is not an action movie, but there were a few scenes where we see some violence, which is one of the biggest themes of the movie. And speaking of themes, here's the list of the things that I thought were illustrated very well. First of all, abusive, toxic relationships, domestic violence, courage, the beauty of flowers, past loves, past traumas, victims and survivors, repeating or ending bad relationship patterns, and choices and consequences. All right, so on to the list of things that I really liked about this. First of all, Blake Lively is gorgeous and she can act. What's not to love? In the book, Lily's character is only 23 and Ryle, the neurosurgeon, is 30. But in the movie, they're about 10 years older than that. When fans of the book complained about the age difference, Colleen Hoover explained that she was correcting an error in her own book. She had been contracted to write college-aged characters, saying she didn't know that neurosurgeons went to school for 50 years, is what she said. Of course, that was her joke, but she really did feel like she had messed things up. And so Blake also served as one of the film's producers and was totally fine with correcting that age difference, obviously. Jenny Slate is our protagonist's bestie, and she is always such a fun, quirky character, whether she's in a live action movie or animation. Her voice is just so unique, don't you think? I just like her character in movies. Other standout cast members include Brandon Sklenar, Kevin McKidd, Hassan Minhaj, and Justin Baldoni, of course. The flower shop in this movie is just gorgeous. And I think probably every girl, young girl maybe, has fantasized about owning a flower shop. Maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I just thought, what a beautiful way to spend your day, just living amongst the beautiful flowers. There's lovely musical score by Duncan Blickenstaff and Rob Simonson. The costume design by Eric Damon is elegant and even stunning at times. Of course, you could put, rags on Blake Lively and she would look stunning. I've heard that the readers of the book have been very pleased with how close to the source material the book is. And I must say, I did like the ending. Now, I've heard the book does not end on this similar note, or maybe even quite a positive note, but I like the spin that they put on it. It's what romance readers and moviegoers want to see. Now, onto the list of things that I didn't like or just thought could have been handled differently or better. For example, the entire time I'm watching this, I wondered what Ryan Reynolds was thinking about while watching his wife make out with another man. Now, on the flip side, she's had to watch him make out with other women. So it's an interesting marriage, I would imagine. All right, girls, when you see a guy violently kick a chair, that's your first red flag. She thought he was cute. And so she just sort of bypassed that. But all of those little behaviors paint the full picture of what this guy is. And I highly recommend you date for at least a year, go through all the seasons, travel in a car, do a road trip or go abroad to see how this guy is going to react in a variety of situations. And those red flags should be red flags. Okay, here's the mom coming out of me, right? Movie review mom. Here's another warning for young women. Have some patience. Within minutes of meeting each other and after talking about the emotional damage their previous relationships had, they lean in for an intimate moment. Now it gets interrupted. A phone call stopped it from going any further. However, they were ready to go further within minutes of meeting each other, which of course happens in movies all the time. But I'm just like, when are women going to learn? So lesson, if you move that fast in a relationship without really knowing someone, the chances are very high that it's not going to end well. All right, enough of my mom lecture. The movie is very slow moving. The movie is way too long to say what it needs to say. And I know that's difficult to take an entire novel and condense it into an hour and a half, right? Which this movie is not. The title makes the movie extremely predictable. You already know the couple's going to break up. I guess the mystery is, will they get back together after they break out? And while you're watching the movie, you're not even sure about that. So whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines simply so I can share them with you, so you can get a taste for the dialogue and the script quality and all of that. So I'll share some of them with you here, and then you'll see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So one of the funny lines is spoken by Alyssa, who is the best friend, played by Jenny Slate. And she walks into this flower shop before it's a flower shop. And it's just a disaster. It definitely needs refurbishing. And she's like, this is a real Ghostbusters situation, which made me laugh because, we just recently saw the newest Ghostbusters movie and they had just fixed up the station. All right. So after Blake Lively's character and Justin Baldoni's character, have a few meet and greets, finally he says to her, I like you. And she says, what are you, 5? And I thought, that was a weird, rude thing for her to say. I mean, she could have said, I like you too, because she obviously did. But I just thought that was weird. I think it was supposed to illustrate that they had this playful conversation or this playful banter throughout the entire movie. Well, until, bad things happen. Anyway, and then there's some interesting lines, such as a line spoken by Lily. And I thought this was the theme of the whole movie. She says, there's no such thing as bad people. We're all just people who sometimes do bad things. It stops here. And I thought that the most powerful part of the movie is that she had the courage to make it stop. Whereas a lot of women don't have that courage, or they don't have the ability to just end the bad, toxic relationships. And so I liked that as a great visual representation of courage for women who might be in that situation. All right. So no, we could talk all day long about that, but got to move on. So whenever I watch movies, I instantly think of other movies. And so I was instantly thinking of 3 other films that are about domestic violence. The first one is called Safe Haven. Now it focuses more on the romance, such as this movie, where 2/3 of the movie are the good romance, fun, parts of their relationship before everything goes bad. And then we get all of the bad stuff. So Safe Haven has a lot of the romance. And then another one that I just recently watched again for, don't even want to tell you how many times I've seen it, is an old Julia Roberts movie called Sleeping with the Enemy. And it's so well done. And again, shows the courage of a woman who does what she has to do to get away from a very violent man. And then the last one is probably one you might not have heard of. I reviewed it several years ago. It's called Herself. And it's an Irish film, and it's so well done. And it shows a woman with young children, and things just kept getting more and more violent. And she had a backup plan for the day that she would need to escape. And you get to sort of see how all of that goes. And then the life that she tries to build with her kids. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy this movie. All right, when you get a minute, run over and visit me on social media, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.